Hey guys, today I'm out here in the beautiful West Coast USA in my Bishu BX series. This is a drift car. His name is Big Red, and today I will be starting to teach you the basics of how to drift. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off by showing you the three main methods of initiating a drift. Really, this is up to personal preference. I personally like to combine a few of these methods, just because I feel like that's what works best, but we can work our way up. Okay, so the three main methods are going to be 1, handbrake initiation, 2, clutch kick initiation, and then third is going to be an inertia. So we're going to start off with the easiest and safest option to begin learning, which is going to be the handbrake initiation. So basically, first I'll give an example of what it would look like. So not this corner, but so yeah, I'll just do another loop back in, and then I can show you. Okay. So I'm going to do this first corner up here. So basically what you do is you go clutch in, handbrake, get your revs up, throttle out. So, sorry, that did not work, because that was not good. So now that I'm done yapping about that, I'm going to head up around here, and then same corner just the other way. So, yep, and then it'll look like that. Wonderful. So, ignore that. Anyway, so yeah, what I did there was, as I was approaching the corner, I was trying to maintain my speed, and then I put clutch in to stop power from going to the wheels. And then I was trying to keep revs up while my clutch was in. But while my clutch was in, since there was no power spinning the rear wheels, what I did was I pulled the handbrake, which fully locked up the rear wheels. See if I give a side view, and you can see when I pull the handbrake, fully locks the rear wheels. So yeah, what that does is it initiates a slide if you're turning and that happens. So, and then you want to get your revs up with the clutch pushed in so that you can get a nice power out. So, begin turning, clutch, handbrake, and then just go out. So that one's really simple. You kind of just gotta feel where the handbrake point is. The second method, kind of a similar goal. Well, they're all the same goal, but similar timing. Just you don't use handbrake. So this one is the clutch kick initiation, and it'll look like that. So you're approaching the corner, and then this one fully relies on the rev since breaking the rear wheels loose. So the handbrake forced the rear wheels to go loose because it was locking the rear wheels. For this one, what it's doing is it's actually causing them to go faster, making them lose grip. So what you're going to do is when you're turning into the corner, you're going to go clutch in, but instead of pulling the handbrake, you're just going to get the revs all the way up, like really high, and then so this is all going to be really quick, or you can just hold the throttle at the same point and then just push the clutch in. And then, yeah, once your revs are up, then you drop the clutch, and then your rear wheels speed up. So, if you were to do that, see, I can even keep just the same throttle level. So, if I hold my throttle just here, 50% throttle, and then put my clutch in, the revs just go up, and then I get rotation. So that's going to be how that one works. And then this last one, most advanced, I tend to mix it with the other two methods in a way. I can show you how to do that afterward. So this one is inertia drifting. There are two main ways to do this. So there's the Scandinavian flick and the feint entry. The Scandinavian flick is going to be as you approach the corner. So this one uses inertia to break the rear wheels loose. So this one is going to be you turn towards the direction of the corner, wait, and then go out, and then you swing it back in real quick, just being very aggressive with it. So that one looks something Oh, wait, no, got enough space there. So Scandinavian flick looks like this. And then I used the handbrake to extend it because I went way too early. But you can kind of get the idea. So yeah, if I'm trying to turn to the left, then I'll go left, right, and then swing it back around. Like that, and then try to spin out. And then the second method keeps you going a lot faster, but is definitely a bit harder, a bit riskier. This one is called the feint entry, so it's very similar, but so you do two things different. First of all, you completely eliminate the first one in the direction of the corner. So say for this corner up here, I would go left, right, and then swing it left. I would do just right, left, which means you're just going straight at the wall. So, for example, here, what you would do for that corner that I just passed. Sorry, my cat was messing around. But yeah, that corner I just passed back there, that would be just go right and then left. And then the other difference, hold on, insert. The cat found a pipe cleaner. So, that's annoying. Anyway. So yeah, let me get back to it. So what you would do, oh, he's pushing the table, I have that one. Okay. Anyway, so what you do is, also the second change is, on that second one, instead of going way back, you're only going to go about halfway out towards it. So yes, this corner up here, so I'll go just really short right about that far, and then swing it. And then I like to use a bit of handbrake. Don't need to push the clutch, just use some handbrake to really help with that. So yeah, if I just come around, I'll do it on that corner back there to really just show you how. So it'll be just slightly right, and then as I turn left, I'll pull the handbrake, and then I will flick the wheel the other direction to counter steer. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet, and then show you how. Way over it, rotate on that one, but almost a 360. So let me see if I can get a cleaner. Let me see if I can get one a bit better. So let's see. So I'll do the same corner, just try and do it a bit better. Anyway, that one wasn't very good. I think you get the idea. Maybe I think this corner's just bad luck. Let's try this one. So yeah, just no, not quite. But yeah, I think for that you get to see the idea of it. I'm still getting a bit back used to the sim. I've been off for a little bit, so that's kind of why I'm a bit off. So those are the three main types of drifting. Well, three main ways of initiating a drift. But there are three steps to drifting. There is initiate, catch, maintain. So with those three methods of initiation, after you do that, obviously you need to catch it, which is like the whole counter steering part, which is why I can do that. So what you do is after you do the initiation, normally if you don't try and catch it, you'll just kind of slide recklessly into a wall like that. So yeah, like for example, if I were to do just like a handbrake pull, but I didn't try and do anything to catch it, just up here, it would be like that. And even then, I kind of just naturally tried to catch it, but you can kind of see, if I do absolutely nothing, I just spin out. But if you catch it, which is what I was talking about with the flicking the wheel for counter steer, then that will help you start to get to the third step of drifting, which is maintain, where you just kind of use throttle to try and balance it. It's more of a feel rhythm. But yeah, so for the catch, after you do the initiation, actually, instead of trying to keep your wheel towards the inside of the turn, which will lead to spinning out, you want to try and throw the wheel to the other direction. So instead of keeping it to the inside, naturally just trying to counter steer. If I were to keep the wheel on the inside, then it would end up something like this, which is obviously not what you want. But if you just go look at the top right of the screen, just kind of see my steering inputs, you can see what I'm doing. So after I get towards the turn, I flick my wheel to spin it, the front wheels to the outside. So what that ends up looking like, just pay attention to the top right, is that. And kind of just get a feel for it. And then as far as maintain, you kind of just gotta keep it at the counter steer, and then try and bring it further in or further out to kind of maintain angle, and then there's also throttle and brake. So that is a bit more advanced, but basically I'll just give a quick run. More throttle, keeping higher throttle will give you more power. You might want to straighten out, and then that'll help you go wider. And if you want to go tighter, you can use some brake. Generally, like left foot braking, so I'm using my other foot to brake. But that will make it tighter. But if you overdo the braking, it'll cause you to spin out. So, like, if I were to just try and, for example, do the braking way too much, it would be quite bad and just spin out. So that was like, no, just not good. So that's kind of a quick run through of how to drift. And then as far as transitions, kind of the same as trying to catch it with the initial drift, except instead of trying to just start from straight, you're using the momentum you get when, so if you watch when you drift, see how you start to straighten out part of the way through? Now, there are ways to not just straighten out halfway through, but if you're trying to do a transition and you're straightening out part of the way through, what you can do is, as you start to straighten out, if you have a corner going the other way, then you just kind of treat it like an initiation for the drift in the other direction, and then that will help transfer. And then since the weight is already going from here back to center, it'll help you swivel out that way, and then you can swing it back. So yeah, you can kind of see me fishtailing for some of these corners, which is just doing the little swivel. So yeah, basically what you do is, as you're drifting like this, then as it swings back, you just try and go the other way. So yeah, really simple. And then you can also kind of use it the same way. Just do it really quick if you're coming into a corner too soon, or you can do a bit of handbrake hold and then drag like that. So that was actually really clean. Jeez, until I messed it up. Anyway, so those are really the basics of how to drift. As far as how you can put it into practice, I would say one of the good things to start with, if you're just getting into drifting and you want to get used to the feel of how it feels to be sideways, is going to be just go in first gear and do first gear donuts. So that's just a good training exercise, or even figure eight, or just figure eights. So if I actually just head over to the drift track here, I'm not going to be using the drift track for the purpose of just being here. This is just going to be the last little thing to wrap up the video. I don't know why my UI got deleted, so you're just going to have to kind of pay attention to the wheel cam up here. So if you want to see how I do it, hold on, wait, I need to at least have a tachometer on here. Just let me do that real quick. I don't know why, but I just feel like my UI keeps breaking for some reason. I need to figure that out. But yeah, so if you look at so now I got a tachometer. So you want to keep it really close to stall RPM, just go in first gear. I know you can't see my gears right now, but I'm in first gear. I'll be in first gear this whole time. So basically what you do is you have whatever obstacle, like you can place down a cone or something, or just go find something, and then as you circle around it, try and keep your RPM low, close to stalling. Then as you're circling, when you're ready, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna flip the throttle, get it up there, and then what you do is once the throttle's blipped, then you flick the wheel the other direction to counter steer and maintain. So I know you can't really, I don't have any proper UI right now, which kind of sucks, but just as an example, I'll spawn in a cone real quick to show you, and then, oh, I did the wrong thing. Hold on one sec. That's my bad. Okay, yeah, so first gear. Now what we do is we'll just come circle around the cone. This might be easier in another camera just so you can like see the cone somewhat. Let me just go in first person. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of actually hold on. Let me see if I can do this in top view to show you. Yeah, so you're gonna take the cone. You're gonna kind of circle around it. So you can see how my wheels are pointed in. And then what I do is I flip throttle, and then kind of do that. Top view is really weird. Yeah. So real quick, let me just try and see if I can do this. Oh, nope, that failed. But yeah, anyway, you can kind of get the idea. It's a lot easier in other views. I'm just trying to use top view to show you. But yeah, so just try and go find an obstacle, and then just do some first gear donuts around it. Try and don't give full throttle the whole time. Try and keep throttle lighter, like maybe 75% throttle at most, and then you can kind of try and, like for example, these tire marks here. Let me just, if you see, you can also try and do bigger donuts, not just. You can also maybe try some second gear, like that. But instead of just going around a small obstacle, you can try and get control of going in a bigger circle, and then trying to also go in or further out. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you. I appreciate you watching, and see you next time. As always, stay sideways.